already know what time it is. It's your boy DJ Richie Skye back with some tea, interviews, recaps, and more. And be sure to check the links in the description of this video for trips, for books, one-on-one sessions, and more. Now let's get into the tea. You got this little funny, phony thing you do. Not funny, phony thing you do. Have you ever had a friend tell you something like that? You got this little phony thing you do. I don't necessarily like it. We're going to get into that in just 1 second. All right. Then we got to talk about some Real Housewives of Atlanta tea. So listen, before I even dive into this whole video is a spoiler alert. So if you don't want to be spoiled, if you feel like, oh my God, the spoilers are ruining the shows. Oh my God. Okay. Like, I need you to get a little, I need you to get a little less serious about this. Okay. It's Housewives. So, already giving you the disclaimer. Let's dive on in. First things first, Potomac. Okay. So, you know how in the trailer, well, we had found out that it seemed as though Kiana had unfollowed Dr. Wendy. We're trying to put together the pieces over here, right? Because they came, like, Dr. Wendy brought Kiana onto the show. Which we know what that kind of means, right? I mean, the same way Portia brought in Fallon, right? You know, they're not really friends. Look at how that turned out. So anyway, jokes, y'all, jokes. Okay, so back to what we were saying. There's a new little 30-second teaser coming out on Potomac, you know, just amping up the season and whatnot. And we get some like little snippets that are a little bit more continuation from what we saw in the trailer. You know, in the original trailer, we saw Kiana and Dr. Wendy both saying, you don't even like her. You don't even like her. You don't even like her. And we don't know who she's talking about. You know, it could be Giselle. Somebody had in the comments that said it was Monique. I'm like, I don't know about that. So we'll just see how things play out. Obviously, we don't know for certain, but we do have this clip of Kiana calling out Dr. Wendy in some phony ways. So let's take a look at the entire clip.
Outside. It was a little tart.
That breath was tart.
They're talking about Stacey's breath, alleged breath, I should say. I love that Stacey leaned into it right here, though. I mean, literally.
On the hot side.
You know, as much as I feel like Stacey is, I don't know what to believe with her. I love that she does lean into her quirks, you know?
It was a little tart.
That breath was tart.
You have this thing that you do that's phony.
You have this thing that you do that's phony. I mean, we can call out our friends. That's what these shows are about, right?
You do that's phony. You have this thing that you do that's phony. Don't let.
So I have been trying to figure out who the new girl Tia was talking to right here. I feel like she's talking to Stacey along with Kiana.
Don't let this accent fool you.
Okay, you see Stacey reacting right there. I mean, typical Stacey fashion.
I never trust you around my husband. You don't have one.
Stacey. What is I have a love-loathe relationship with whatever Wendy is wearing. On the one hand, I loathe it. On the one hand, I love it. It's giving drama. That's what you want. You want something that's memorable in your confessionals.
I'm so confused.
Me too, girl. Me too.
On the hot.
So there's our Potomac tea for the day. I'm so excited about Potomac, y'all, because we literally know legit nothing about this season. You know, one of the things that for me, I don't really know much, right? And I don't ask nobody no questions. I don't seek out anything. So when stuff pops up, it's always fun for me to try to dissect what's going on, right? So there's the tea on Potomac. Now let's get into the tea on Atlanta. Okay, so we're gonna take tea from two different sources right now. And again, if you don't like spoilers, like I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I do. Okay. And I know it's a very strong segment of the audience that does. And so we have fun talking about these things. And if you can't live in the fun of this, I need for you to go and get some joy. Okay. Go get some joy and then come back. Go have a little strong drink of joy and then come back. Because this is fun. It's Housewives, y'all. All right. So the Real Housewives Zone has a report from Bravo and Cocktails. Okay. Now, their tea asserts that K. Michelle is causing drama amongst the cast. We already have seen K. Michelle call out some alleged bimbo. We already know that there has been no following or unfollowing. We don't know if it's unfollow, no follow from Angela. And allegedly, people are saying that Drew may not be following her either. But let's get into the tea, okay? And then K. Michelle did post about a takedown attempt when she was just minding her business. We talked about that in previous videos. All right, so what we see here is that filming is about 3 weeks underway with Portia, Phaedra, Drew, Shamia, Angela, and Kelly being joined by restaurateur Pinky Cole and Love and Hip Hop alum K. Michelle. Cynthia Bailey is returning as a friend. This particular account right here is saying that Love and Hip Hop star, former Love and Hip Hop star Tammy Rivera will make a handful of appearances. Okay, so let's also look at Tammy Rivera, right? If you guys are not familiar with the show, oh my God, what is the name of the show with Nivea, Eva, Tammy, and the girl from London where they go to Vietnam? Side note, y'all, I am really looking at Vietnam for a group trip. Just FYI, just looking at it, okay? Looking at it. But Tammy this was a NBC Universal Peacock show, right? And so that is why that relationship is there. And it would not surprise me because, you know, K. Michelle was also on Queen's Court, which also aired on Peacock and Bravo. So there's some relationships here that I feel like make sense. But let's get into the drama. It says so far the drama is more simmering than boiling. Portia's fallout with Shamia after season 16 reunion is still unresolved, with Kelly backing Shamia, which is not surprising, right? Angela and Drew have allegedly traded jabs with K. Michelle, who is already stirring up some conversation. The first cast trip is to Dallas, Texas, hosted by K. Michelle, who is leaning into her country music side. Now, when we talk about the next bit of tea that we get, I'm hearing more that it was Cynthia Bailey who is at the center of this cast trip. And we'll talk about why in a second. All right, so then it says behind the scenes, there's an ongoing pass the peach situation between Kelly, Pinky, and K. Michelle. This is something that I had heard as well. So listen, and again, it's all speculation. It's all alleged at this point. Nothing will be completely solidified until we see the cast photo, for at least us anyway, right? Now, it says that we're told that Pinky has stayed out of the group drama so far, but she's dealing with an ongoing tax situation, which I think was about 80,000, maybe. I think it was, or there was something due, something something going on with her and a restaurant or a building. I don't really know, to be honest with you. Producers were also eager to bring in a married entrepreneur, which made her an appealing addition to the cast, even if K. Michelle doesn't end up as a full-time housewife, which I cannot imagine at this point. She's already benefiting from strong screen time and a favorable edit thanks to her celebrity status. Oftentimes, when a new housewife comes on, they are, depending on how they treat the season, they oftentimes get a favorable edit that first season. So, I mean, you never know. And she is a household name at this point. So it would be interesting to see anything otherwise, right? So let's move on to binge worthy. That is our boy Justin Diego. And if you are not following Bingeworthy on YouTube or Instagram, what are you doing? Living under a rock. When I tell you some of the best editing, I'm not actually sure why he's not also editing for Housewives as well. Bravo. I mean, it's past the paycheck, okay? I don't even know if that's what he wants to do, but I'm just saying his videos are like top tier. And he gets a lot of tea as well. And so I went down I went down the rabbit hole, okay, today. Now, Justin, and I want you guys to watch the video. So I'm going to put the video in the description, but I'm going to just touch on a couple of points. And for the intimate details about the Dallas trip, definitely go watch the video. It's in my description. Okay. So what Justin's video does is it really does make the case for maybe potentially Cynthia being the person that is at the center of the group trip, because Cynthia also posted with the private jet company, tagging the private jet company that I'm assuming took the ladies to Dallas, as evidenced by, obviously different photos of Drew and Kelly, entering, exiting, playing around the jet in a very Nicki Minaj type fashion. You bees can't even spell Prague. So there was that. And from the other images that I have seen, Cynthia, there was an event that Cynthia seemed to be hosting where the ladies were somewhat seemingly dressed up in some type of, I don't know if it was costume or what, where Cynthia Bailey was being crowned something. So she also tagged a tequila brand as well. Now, again, there's varying, there's varying talk out there about what Cynthia's role could potentially be. I still see her as maybe the super friend who kind of comes in and makes appearances, but that super friend status, now you can be hosting events. Cynthia is a likely person to do that because she was literally at the center last season. She was like literally the person like that I don't know. It's funny to me. It's funny to me that Cynthia Bailey has lasted as long as she has on Housewives, and some of the, I don't know, more outspoken names have not, which is very interesting. So I think that the network really enjoys Cynthia. I think Cynthia is also a safe bet for brands as well. If I'm a brand owner and I'm looking at someone on the show who I think could carry my brand and represent it well, I'm gonna say that Cynthia is probably the safest bet for brands out of everybody on there, right? Because Cynthia is not going to do too much in any direction that is going to cause a lot of controversy. She's beautiful. She has the modeling background. I mean, she just, I think, represents something that brands want and look for. So I can see these partnerships with the jet company and with the tequila brand. I can see these things. They just work. And I think if you take away your dislike or like of a certain person and you really just look business wise and objectively, you can see why Cynthia Bailey is a safe, sure bet for brands to want to work with. I would. I mean, she just makes so much sense. And so again, I think that the network will probably have no problem with wanting her, as a centerpiece, even if she is just a super friend. Which I recently heard that that term was coined by a Real Housewives of Miami producer. I mean, because Real Housewives of Miami does have super friends. Kiki, Marisol, Adriana, they get their own scenes, they get their own stories. You know, oftentimes in the past, the friends were relegated to just appearing when someone else appeared, the friend that they were a friend of. So it's nice to see this in this space. And I think that we're going to see a lot more of these super friends moving forward. So anyway, that's the tea, y'all. So I just thought I would I wanted to do something fun today, do a little bit of a deep dive. I want to tell you guys, I do have a new podcast coming out. I'm so excited. It will probably be out like mid-October after I get back from Zanzibar. We're still doing some more work. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm going to be able to do some fun things with that take me in some different directions. So with that being said, make sure you guys are following the channel, subscribe if you haven't already done so, like this video, check out the videos and all of the links in the description so you can go back to each of those sources and you can do like your own little fun deep dives. I've skimmed the surface on the Housewives of Atlanta. Like, you can go so deep into this, and I think if you love that type of thing, it's very fun. So definitely feel free to do that as well, and I will catch you in the next video.